Imagine waking up one morning and knowing you have the power to prevent a stroke, simply by changing what you do when you get out of bed. Picture adding years of health and independence to your life with just a few easy habits. What if the secret to protecting your brain was right at your fingertips every morning? Have you ever wondered if there's something straightforward, proven, and practical you could do each day to dramatically cut your stroke risk? Could the difference between worry and wellness be as simple as a daily routine? Absolutely. And many top neurologists agree. These small changes can protect your brain and safeguard your future. Stay until the end. What you'll learn might change your life. If you want more tips like this, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and let us know in the comments which habit you're most excited to try. Hydrate before anything else. Imagine waking up and reaching straight for your cup of coffee or tea, as so many of us do. It's comforting, it's familiar, and it marks the start of a new day. But what if we told you that the simple habit of drinking a glass of water before anything else could set the stage for a healthier brain and a stronger heart? For many older adults, years of routine have cemented habits that feel unchangeable, but one adjustment, starting every morning with water, could make all the difference. Picture this. Your body has just spent 8 hours slowly losing fluids through breathing and perspiration, even if the night was cool. When you first wake up, you're naturally mildly dehydrated, and so is your blood. Blood that's a little thicker, a little slower to move, forces your heart and your vessels to work harder. Neurologists explain that when blood is a bit thicker, it can be more prone to clotting, which is one of the biggest causes of stroke. Think about it. Each day you wake up, you have a fresh chance to help your body flow better, move better, and protect your most precious resource, your brain. Evelyn, a 70-year-old grandmother and avid gardener, used to skip right to the coffee pot before moving a muscle. She brushed off the idea of water in the morning, thinking her cup of coffee would do just fine. But after reading a trusted article about hydration and circulatory health, she tried switching things up. She started keeping a water bottle on her nightstand and made it a rule to drink at least 1 glass before her feet hit the floor. Within days, Evelyn noticed subtle improvements. Her mornings felt smoother. She experienced fewer dizzy spells when standing up, and her fingers didn't feel as stiff. After a few weeks, the habit was second nature. She felt a renewed clarity and energy, which made her daily walks and gardening easier. When Evelyn visited her doctor for a regular checkup, she was delighted to hear that her blood pressure had smoothed out, too, a crucial factor in reducing her stroke risk. It isn't magic or empty promises, it's pure physiology. Our brains rely on constant, healthy blood flow to function, and the more hydrated you are, the easier it is for your blood to circulate without becoming sticky or sluggish. Dehydration is surprisingly common among seniors because our natural thirst response dulls with age. By simply drinking 250 to 500 milliliters of water each morning, around 1 to 2 cups, you're giving your heart and vessels the helping hand they need. This habit is not about perfection. It's about being consistent and remembering every day that small steps lead to major health victories. Wondering how this tiny change could create a ripple effect on your overall health, or what else you might try tomorrow to follow it up. Stay with us, because the next habit builds on this boost and makes your mornings even more powerful. If 1 glass of water could help your brain, what other simple acts might be waiting to protect you as well? Gentle morning movement. Wake up your circulation. Many people believe that a strong heart is earned through gym workouts or long jogs. But the truth is, just a few gentle stretches and light movements each morning can work wonders for your health, especially as you age. Consider Frank, a retired mechanic who always told himself he wasn't much for exercise. Each morning, he lingered in bed a little longer, thinking he'd get up when he felt ready, but found himself often stumbling with stiffness and occasional lightheadedness when he finally got up. His daughter, who works as a nurse, began to worry about his ongoing complaints of feeling wobbly upon rising. She suggested he give a few simple stretching routines a try, right before he even left his bedroom. At first, Frank was skeptical. Stretches? At his age? He reluctantly agreed to start small, committing to 5 minutes every morning to slowly roll his shoulders, circle his ankles, and gently twist side to side, just to get his blood moving. In just a week, Frank noticed his mornings begin to shift. The muscle stiffness he'd accepted as normal eased out of his body with each mindful stretch. He felt steadier on his feet and more alert as he made his way to the kitchen for breakfast. What had felt like a minor inconvenience, just a few minutes of movement, was quietly waking up his entire circulatory system. The truth is, after a long night's sleep, gravity can pool blood in your lower limbs, making it hard for your heart to quickly send it upward when you stand. This sudden change is why many older adults experience dizzy spells and even dangerous falls in the morning. Neurologists emphasize that light stretching or pacing can smooth out this transition, allowing your blood vessels to gradually adjust and encouraging healthy blood flow to your brain. You don't need fancy equipment or complicated routines. Some gentle wrist circles, shoulder rolls, or marching in place can be enough. The important part is consistency. Moving gradually every single morning sends your body the signal it's time to wake up and get going. As Frank's new habit took root, his confidence grew too. No longer did he worry about losing his balance on the way to the bathroom. Instead, he greeted the day with more energy, knowing he'd already done something positive for his health before breakfast. This gentle, daily movement not only supports circulation and reduces your risk of stroke, but it also helps improve flexibility, posture, and mood, all essential for independent, vibrant living. If it worked for Frank, why not try it for yourself? And just imagine what might happen if you pair this movement with another healthy habit in your morning routine. Which gentle move would make the biggest difference in how you start your day? Stay tuned, because the next tip will change the way you think about your morning mindset. Mindful breathing. Calm the morning rush. It's easy to underestimate the power of your breath, especially after decades of breathing without a second thought. But for older adults, starting the day with even just 3 to 5 minutes of mindful breathing can set a gentle yet powerful tone for heart health and mental clarity. Let's look at Margaret, a 76-year-old who always seemed to start her days with a rush of anxiety. Every morning, she would glance at her long to-do list and feel her heart race before she'd even had breakfast. Her doctor had been monitoring her blood pressure and suggested that she try a simple practice, sitting at the edge of her bed and focusing on slow, deliberate breathing before facing the world's demands. Margaret hesitated, doubting such a minor change could matter. Still, one Tuesday, she gave it a try. She sat quietly, planted her feet on the floor, and inhaled deeply through her nose, exhaling slowly through pursed lips. Within a few breaths, she noticed her shoulders relax and her mind quiet. Over a few weeks, this breathing ritual became her touchstone, a moment of peace that lasted long after she started her actual day. When Margaret returned to her doctor, her blood pressure readings had improved, and she described a new sense of calm that followed her from dawn until dusk. Neurologists highlight that deep, mindful breathing reduces the stress hormone cortisol and lowers blood pressure, both of which are important for lowering stroke risk. Early mornings are when blood pressure tends to spike, especially as you age. By introducing calm and centered breathing, you allow your body's systems to start in harmony, making your heart and brain less vulnerable to sudden surges in tension. This practice doesn't require any special background or equipment. Simply close your eyes, count each slow inhale and exhale, and allow your thoughts to drift by. Beyond the physical benefits, this mindful moment gives you a sense of control that can anchor the rest of your day. Margaret's family noticed she smiled more and seemed to move through her routines with greater ease and assurance. The ripple effect of her calm mornings helped everyone in her home. Now, each morning's mindful breath reminds Margaret that she is not defined by her worries or her hurried schedule. She's empowered to begin each day on her own terms. Imagine the difference it could make for your mornings and your heart if you took just a few intentional breaths before starting your day. What might happen if the peace you find with each inhale became the foundation for a healthier, steadier life? The next tip might surprise you with how effortless it is to blend into your routine. Are you ready to discover it? Smart breakfast choices. Fuel for a healthy brain. Many people think breakfast is simply about satisfying early morning hunger. But for those over 65, choosing the right foods can play a crucial role in protecting against strokes and maintaining mental sharpness. Picture Helen, a 72-year-old grandmother who used to begin her day with buttery toast and sugary cereal while reading the newspaper. She loved the comfort of familiar flavors, but found herself exhausted by mid-morning. After a minor health scare, Helen's doctor suggested making small, sustainable changes to her breakfast routine as part of a broader stroke prevention plan. Skeptical at first, Helen decided to experiment with her morning meal. She swapped her usual spread for oatmeal topped with fresh berries, a sprinkle of walnuts, and a splash of milk. Not only did her breakfast look more colorful, but Helen quickly realized she felt energized and full for much longer. Over time, other adjustments followed. She replaced juice with water, sometimes added a boiled egg, and paid more attention to balancing protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Soon, Helen noticed her blood sugar levels became steadier, her cholesterol numbers improved, and even her memory felt sharper. These daily choices may seem small, but they build up powerfully. Neurologists remind us that whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, berries, and leafy greens provide nutrients that support brain health and blood vessel strength, all important for lowering stroke risk. Conversely, highly processed foods, excess sugar, and too much salt can strain the body and increase inflammation. A thoughtfully prepared breakfast helps regulate blood pressure, improves circulation, and sets your metabolism on the right track for the rest of the day. Plus, planning breakfast can become a routine you look forward to, a moment to nourish yourself before the busyness sets in. Helen found joy in trying new recipes and sharing stories with her grandson at the kitchen table, forging healthier habits that resonated throughout her family. She realized that fueling her body first thing in the morning was an act of self-care that made her stronger for those she loves. If you're wondering whether a simple breakfast swap could really make a difference, consider how you feel after your current choice. Do you have sustained energy, or do you crash by mid-morning? What if you treated your first meal as your first defense, one that could transform your heart and mind for years to come? Stay with us, because the next morning habit could make your routine even more powerful. Wouldn't you want to see how to bring an extra boost to your daily rituals? Medication and supplement routine. Safeguard your morning health. For many seniors, medication and supplements become a regular part of life, but how and when you take them can be just as important as the pills themselves, especially when it comes to stroke prevention. Picture George, a 78-year-old retiree who spent his mornings feeling frustrated after frequently forgetting to take his blood pressure medication. His daughter worried, particularly after statistics showed inconsistency in medication can double the risk of stroke for older adults. Determined to create a more reliable routine, George placed a simple pill box beside his water glass on the kitchen counter. right next to his breakfast items. Each morning, before reading the paper, he'd pour himself a glass of water, check his pill box, and calmly take his medications and supplements as prescribed. This small shift eliminated guesswork and anxiety, while his improved adherence led to more stable blood pressure and fewer dizzy spells. George's experience is a reminder that, especially as we age, our memory can benefit from supportive cues and dedicated habits. Medical experts emphasize that blood pressure and blood thinner medications are often most effective when taken at the same time daily, minimizing fluctuations in your body systems. Proper timing reduces stroke risk and boosts overall well-being, supporting everything from circulation to cognitive clarity. Supplements like omega-3s, vitamin D, and potassium may also play a role in brain and blood vessel health, but it's essential to consult with your healthcare team before making changes or adding anything new. To make medication routines hassle-free, some find success with daily alarms, charts, or integrating pill taking with enjoyable morning rituals, perhaps after morning stretches or mindful breathing. George noticed his mornings became less rushed and more intentional, providing a stable foundation not just for his own health, but for family peace of mind. His granddaughter appreciated the change too, always greeting him in the kitchen to share breakfast, knowing he'd already cared for his well-being. Setting up a visible, consistent medication habit isn't about losing independence. It's about claiming ownership of your day, one small step at a time. How might your mornings and your health change if you started treating your medication time as a sacred moment of self-care? Would you feel more confident, energized, or secure knowing you've taken one of the most effective steps toward preventing a stroke? Now let's uncover the final morning habit that could tie your routine together and help you thrive each day. Social connection and positive engagement. The hidden power of morning interaction when it comes to stroke prevention. Most people think about what they eat, how they move, or which medications they take, but few realize the protective potential of something as simple as a friendly chat or a shared smile to start their day. For Ruth, age 80, mornings once felt lonely and tedious after her husband passed away. She'd sit with her coffee in silence, shuffling through the news to fill the quiet hours. Over time, she noticed her energy dip and her mood darken, which made it difficult to summon motivation for even basic self-care. Then, at the gentle urging of her granddaughter, Ruth started calling an old friend every morning. Their conversations were short. Sometimes they only discussed the weather or exchanged a joke, but the change was profound. Ruth began her days feeling lighter and more alert. Her morning phone calls became a touchstone, encouraging her to get dressed, prepare a proper breakfast, or take a 10-minute stroll outside. This daily social connection didn't just lift her spirits. Scientific studies show that regular positive engagement, whether through a chat with a neighbor, a walk with a friend, or even brief gratitude journaling, reduces stress hormones and supports cardiovascular health. Chronic loneliness or stress, on the other hand, can elevate blood pressure and inflammation, heightening the risk of stroke. By seeking out even small moments of connection or purposeful activity when the day begins, older adults reinforce their sense of belonging, boost mood, and give their brains a powerful cue that life remains meaningful and full of possibility. Ruth's story reminds us that simple acts, checking in with loved ones, saying hello to a neighbor, or participating in a community breakfast can transform not just our emotional well-being, but our physical health as well. If mornings sometimes feel isolating, ask yourself, is there a way to reach out, even briefly, to someone you care about or participate in a shared activity? Could prioritizing a little morning engagement become the unseen shield strengthening your heart, mind, and resilience for the entire day? Stay tuned, because putting all these habits together creates a powerful routine. Are you ready to discover how easy it is to build a future with more connection, vitality, and peace of mind? As you reflect on these 6 essential morning habits, it's clear that safeguarding your brain and heart doesn't require complicated plans or drastic changes. Each small step, from reaching for that first glass of water, gently stretching your limbs, breathing deeply with intention, choosing a nourishing breakfast, staying consistent with your medications, to connecting with someone you care about, acts as a quiet promise to yourself and your loved ones. Together, these habits build the kind of daily foundation that can prevent up to 90% of strokes and support the independence you cherish. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are honoring your health every single day with simple actions that protect your body, mind, and spirit. Even if mornings have felt overwhelming in the past, remember, change is possible at any age, and you've already taken the most important step by learning something new today. You are not alone on this journey. Your efforts to care for yourself echo through your family and your community, inspiring others to do the same. Your mornings can be filled with more meaning, energy, and connection than ever before, no matter what yesterday held. If this message touched your heart, please subscribe for more stories and expert guidance. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Comment the word wisdom below if you feel inspired to begin or continue your journey with these habits. Together, let's keep building a future grounded in hope, health, and the strength that comes from caring for ourselves and those we love.